Communication Service. We are currently experiencing a number of calls. Please hold and an operator will be with you shortly. Thank you. Midlands.
Hello, can I ask who I'm speaking to, please?
It's the main reception for East Midlands North, sir.
Who can I speak to regarding some information?
Right, so it really depends what sort of information you need to talk about. What the nature of your call is, sir.
Well, can you speak up a bit? Can I hear you?
Right, it depends on the nature of the information, sir.
Yes. Who can I get in contact with then?
Well, as I say, sir, that would all depend on what your nature of your call is. Are you a witness in a case?
No, I'm a convicted felon.
Right.
Now, let me give you some background to the situation. Yes. I was convicted as a co-defendant in 2007.
Right.
Subsequently, I've made my own investigations and inquiries. Yes. And the co-defendant isn't the person everyone was claiming him to be. Yes. Now, I remember two people that gave this co-defendant a character reference. One of the people was by the name of John Cooper. Now, I've been prosecuted after this situation, and the person that appeared at Chesterfield Magistrates Court on the 30th of December 2009 was John Cooper. The same person. Now, he claimed to know this co-defendant and said that he'd received payment to set his own business up, and this co-defendant didn't want it back. Now, that to me sounds like it can only be a bribe. Now, another person that gave a character reference for this bogus individual was a person by the name of Seston. Now, I understand this Seston, I've seen him since with his mother. I do believe it was his mother. And this Seston just happens to be a sergeant at the Derbyshire Constabulary's HQ in Ripley. Yes? Are you still there?
Absolutely, yeah.
Now, that would tie in with all the witness statements that was produced, that was typed, what I have in my possession, copies of. On the bottom left-hand corner, it gives you the initials of the person, which is automatically entered, that's logged on to type the statement up. It's AJT. The person that responded to my complaint about the police at the complaints department at Butterley Hall, the headquarters of Derbyshire Constabulary, was a Alan Bannister and a A.J. Thornley. Now, these two people, they was only referenced as, when I made my inquiries, as investigative support officers. Now, you wouldn't have two investigative support officers handling a complaint. You'd have a warranted police officer and a civilian who is employed by the police as an investigative support officer. And the general case is that the civilian investigative support officer is a retired police officer or some relation to a police officer serving at Butterley Hall. Now I've collated the information and I've made complaints about this to the CPS and I've escalated it up to your headquarters in London, and they've supplied me with a cock and bull story. Now, like I said, I've collated all this information, I've put it...
What did the headquarters say to you then, sir?
They actually said to me that they're not going to treat my complaint as a complaint because I've been convicted.
Right.
They're going to treat it as feedback.
Right.
And the thing is, I can prove everything I'm saying because I record everything. I can only trust me.
Right.
Now,
Well, if you've already been in touch and gone through the complaints procedure, so the stuff that actually treated it as feedback, I mean, everything you actually said to myself just then actually relates to the police, doesn't it?
no it doesn't. We've got John Cooper to start with, and then in the 2009 case, John Cooper was replaced with a gentleman, I'll say gentleman, but I don't think he is a gentleman, by the name of Treherne, John Treherne. Now, before I say anything else, I've put all this information on a website, on the internet. And if you want to access the information, I've always also made it so any individual that's interested can download the PDF files.
Well, we wouldn't go onto a website, sir.
No.
I mean, if you've got a response back concerning your actual call, then that is the stance of the CPS. If they're treating it as feedback, then that is what they've decided. Now, if you're looking to get the actual case re-looked at, you would need to seek your own legal entity's independent advice. If you believe there's actually something actually happening with the police force, then you'll need to speak to the IPCC.
And it's I've been to the IPCC as well.
Right, well if you've been to the IPCC, sir, that's all I can actually advise you to do.
I've been to the IPCC, I've been to the Legal Complaint Services, the Legal Ombudsman, you name it, I've been. The Bar Council,
Right.
and they've all told me a pack of lies to cover up, because this co-defendant isn't the person everybody's claiming him to be. I've proved this on this website, because I've traced him back to his school. The thing is, he's got a sister. He's got a sister.
I don't really see what...
She's a barrister in London. Now, I said to the Criminal Cases Review Commission on a number of occasions that I've put it down in writing to various organisations that there's somebody perverting the course of justice. Now, if somebody's perverting the course of justice, then I do believe it's up to the CPS to make inquiries why somebody's perverting the course of justice.
Right, well, if that's what you believe, sir, then...
No, that's what I can prove.
Well, it's not for me to comment on that, sir. You've already spoke to the...
So, it's not for you to comment on it. You work on the switchboard, so put me through to somebody else. Your line manager then, please.
Well, what's your name, sir?
My name's Martin Glasgow.
Sorry, Martin?
Glasgow.
Just on my phone, sir. Hello, CPS is Midlands, Hayley speaking.
Who's speaking up?
Hayley.
Hayley?
Yes.
Hayley who?
Hayley Twigger.
Hayley Twigger.
How can I help you today?
Can you explain to me why one of your prosecutors, a John Cooper, in 2007, gave a character reference for a co-defendant at a trial in Derbyshire, Derby Crown Court, saying that he'd received payment to set a business up, but the co-defendant didn't want it returning, and then at a later date I find that this co-defendant isn't the person that everybody's claiming him to be.
Okay, what's your name, please?
My name's Martin Glasgow.
Okay. And is this in relation to a specific case, then?
It is, yes.
Do you know what the case name or reference number is?
I can get you the reference number.
Yeah, that would be great.
I have the URN number, is that sufficient?
Yes, that'll be the one.
I think you use URN number, don't you?
Yes.
The same as the police.
Yeah.
Same as Chesterfield Constabulary
Okay.
and the Chesterfield CPS in the same building use exactly the same database.
Yes.
That's right. Also wouldn't use the same reference number.
Yes. If you can give me the URN number, then I should be able to find it for you.
It's 30CH
Yeah.
2619
Yeah.
06. I'm just checking, there's a couple here because I was charged at the same time as my brother, but yeah, that's a different one, different number.
Can you get anything up at all, then?
Pardon?
I'll just see if I can get anything up. Okay, can you just give me a second? Just put you on hold.
Can I just explain something to you?
Yeah?
Well, it's strange this, because I was prosecuted in 2009. Well, in 2010, that's when the trial was. In 2009, after I came back from Chesterfield Magistrates Court, I went straight home and I rang the CPS, Chesterfield CPS, and gave them the reference number. Well, I've just given you, not this one,
Yeah?
but the other one. That's 30CH 504409. Yeah?
504409.
Yeah, that's the other case.
Okay, I can just see if I can find anything for that one.
Now, can I explain it to you further?
Yes, can you just give me 1 second while I just clarify something?
Okay, no.
believe that is because of the age.
Can I just stop you 1
Yeah.
second? Well, I'll carry on with what I was saying,
Okay.
yes, was that when I came home,
Yeah.
after I'd been to Chesterfield Magistrates Court,
Okay, and when was this?
this was on the 30th of December 2009, yes.
Yeah.
I came home and the first thing I did was ring the CPS up in Chesterfield.
Okay.
I gave her a reference number,
Yeah.
the last one I gave you,
Yeah.
30CH504409, and I was told by Tina Norton that there was nothing on their system.
Okay.
Not in them words, but the thing is, now, one of the reasons why I rang the CPS up
Yeah.
after I'd been to court was because John Cooper didn't have a prosecution file with him.
Okay.
Now, the first answer I got from Tina Norton was, it's still at court, we don't get the file back until tomorrow. Yes,
Yeah.
that's plausible. Yes. Then I realised that he didn't have a file with him, so he's not going to get, she's not going to receive a file back, so I rang up again, and then she tried to explain that the file was still with the police. They hadn't taken it down. She changed her mind and said it's the police that take the file down to court.
Okay.
Now, so I said hello, said goodbye and everything, put the phone down, and then I rang again,
Okay.
and I was told that if she finds anything, that she'll get it to me. And then she also said that Cooper wouldn't have sight of the file until on the day in these type of cases.
Okay.
Now, I've been prosecuted twice illegally because I've not had no legal representation, as in I've since the 2 cases I've made a request to the Legal Services Commission for a listed inventory under the Freedom of Information Act of solicitor firms that apply for legal aid using my personal details. But the response I received was that they don't have any certificates on their system containing my personal details that would indicate that the solicitors and the barristers have been pretending to represent my interests. They've been working in the interests of the prosecution rather than the interests of, I presumed I was their client, because I gave them my personal details for them to apply for legal aid. Deception.
Okay, and how can I help today?
How can you help today? Well, just wanted to know what you can do about it.
Right, well, unfortunately this can't be logged as a complaint or anything due to the time scale, as a complaint can only be logged up to 6 months after the proceedings have ended. The only thing I could suggest would be I could log it as feedback and get you a response based on that.
The thing is, this is all criminal activity, isn't it?
Can't really pass comment on that.
Well, you're CPS, do you work for CPS?
Yes, I do.
Well, you would know if such as these antics have got to be criminal.
But that's not something I can pass comment on. I don't have any legal skills. I'm just an administrator.
Oh, you're an administrator, you're not like legally trained?
No, I'm not legally trained.
You're not legally trained, you're not legally qualified.
No.
So, why am I talking to you then?
Because I'm currently the complaints feedback and victims review coordinator.
You see, I record everything. And I've got a website on the internet.
Okay.
I've put, you see, I've escalated this beyond the CPS. I went to the what's it called now? Above the CPS. Just 1 second. We escalated from there. It's a government, I think it's a governmental department.
Okay, I'm not sure.
Just 1 second, let me have a look at my files. CPS complaints, that's the one. It's right at the back. To the AGO, Attorney General's office.
Okay.
Now I can give you a reference number. I've received feedback telling me that you're not good to... Oh, the thing is, you see, I record everything.
Okay.
Now I had a conversation about this situation with your Derbyshire CPS.
Okay, when was that?
Oh,
Our Derbyshire CPS office closed last year.
last year did it? Well, it was before then.
Yeah.
The thing is, well, I've lost my train of thought. Yes, I had after I'd been to your head office in London, Rose Court, I was told that there was treating it as feedback.
Yeah.
Yes. So I thought, it's much strange here. So I rang your Derby office.
Yeah.
And I was told that the reason why they weren't handling it was because I'd made a complaint. They didn't say feedback. It was feedback.
Our policy is that it can only be classed as a complaint if you sent it in within 6 months of the proceedings ending. Otherwise it has to be logged as feedback.
Well, I wasn't told that. I wasn't told that because the situation is ongoing. I'm not going to let it drop. I'll take this to the grave with me. Don't worry about that. Now, if I could get back to what I was saying.
Yeah.
This lady at the Derby CPS office
Yeah.
actually said the reason why they're treating it as feedback is because I've made a complaint and I've sent it all the way through the complaints procedure, and all they're doing is twisting the situation, turning it from a complaint to feedback because it suits them basically. And I recorded all this.
Do you remember the name of the person you spoke to at that point?
I think it was somebody called Smith.
Okay.
I'm not 100% sure, but then again I spoke to that many people in your office in Derby and Chesterfield. You could tell with tone of voice and the reaction and what they're trying to say. Like I spoke to her after this situation in 2009, when it was in 2010. I see cobbled a prosecution file together. Yes.
Yeah.
And it's basically a conspiracy, isn't it? You've got nothing on your system.
No, because with the case being from quite a few years ago now, it's no longer registered on our system. They only stay on our system for so long. Yes, I've had a look. They were previously on our system. There is record that they were there previously, but one of them was destroyed on the 3rd of June 2014 and the other one on the 4th of 2013, and the other one on the 4th of June 2013.
So they've been destroyed?
Yes.
Why would they destroy them then? Because I've got ongoing complaints here.
Okay, due to the data protection policy, we only do keep them on our system for so long.
Data protection policy?
Yes.
Don't you have to have my permission. Anybody, governmental body, under the Data Protection Act, the information on the system, once it's on the system, it has to stay on the system because you have to get the person's permission to remove it to start with. Bit strange that, isn't it? Because like, I've just received information that my medical records are not available. But then again, I gave PC McGrogan, I can't remember his collar number, but his name's McGrogan. In 2007-ish, I gave him permission to access my medical records. He wanted to access my medical records. So I gave him permission, and I think he's in fact, he was brought over here for this situation, weren't he, in 2007?
Can you just give me 1 second, just while I look into something? I'll just put you on hold.
Okay, thank you.
Hi, Mr. Glasgow. Sorry about that. I was just looking into some information I have found.
Okay, though.
I found your complaint that you submitted previously, and it was fully dealt with, so there isn't actually anything further that we can do.
Criminal activity, though. Criminal activity. I brought criminal activity to light. Insuate offence, I do believe it's called.
If you've got anything to do with criminal activity or illegal behaviour, then that would be something you'd have to refer to the police.
The police no good.
The CPS and the police are separate authorities.
I'll tell you what, you know the second case? You know what it was about?
What?
It was about my son being left overnight to sleep in a bed with a couple that's no relation to him. I made a complaint to the social services, and as soon as they found out it was a local councillor, they didn't want to know. That's what that second case was about. My son bit's left alone to sleep in a bed with two people, a couple that's no relation to him. Now, I've got this councillor's statement here, and at the end it says, and nothing happened. Isn't that what they're all going to say? And the thing is, the police were in on it and all, specifically a 2358 Julie Rossington.
Okay, like I said though, we have dealt with the complaint she did do submitted again to the Crown Prosecution Service, and there isn't anything further that we can actually do for you.
Are you sure?
Yes,
How do you know that? You're only an administrator.
because I'm dealing with the complaints, so I know the complaints policies.
You know that you know the law in relation to criminal activity then?
No, I'm saying I know the policies in relation to our complaints procedure. I've also discussed this with a colleague, and she's also in agreement that there isn't anything further we can do.
So why did your John Cooper give evidence against a character reference for someone he knew was someone other than he was claiming to be?
That's not something I can pass comment on as the reasons behind something that somebody else has done.
Well, obviously, but that's criminal activity, isn't it? So if I give you evidence to CPS, evidence of criminal activity being perpetrated...
If you've got evidence of a crime, then that is something you'd have to give to the police, not us. If the police think there's a matter, then they will refer it to us once they've established a file.
The police?
Yes, the police and the CPS are separate authorities.
Why do they use the same database then in Chesterfield?
The CPS lawyers based at the court may do, but I'm not sure.
No. That's the reason why I've got the same URN number.
Yes.
Do you know any... Just 1 second. Do you know anything about databases?
I can't pass comment on the databases that were used in 2007.
I know all about database. Relational databases, they use a primary key. And the primary key here is that URN, unique reference number. That's why it's called a unique reference number.
Yeah.
So therefore, the CPS and the police share the same database. Also, they'd be using a different primary key. Now, I've been told on numerous occasions that the file isn't with the CPS, it's down with the police. Oh, I can't find it, it must be down with the police. There was no file in the first place. They expected me to plead guilty in 2009. That's why John Cooper didn't have a prosecution file, because
there was record that there was a file, but it was destroyed in June last year, as per our data protection policy.
Data protection policy? I thought it was national. It's not, it's the Data Protection Policy. The Data Protection Act is a Data Protection Act. It can't be manipulated to suit a certain functionality that serves a purpose to destroy evidence.
Because the case has been finalised, we are able then to destroy the file.
It's not finalised.
According to our system, it is finalised.
No. You'll have to prosecute me again for harassment. Because, like, at the end of the day, I know that printing and publishing is a tort of defamation. Now, the thing is, I got prosecuted in 2010 for putting posters out. That's printing and publishing. Now, what I put on them posters was true, yeah, which I can prove to be true. Now, I get prosecuted for printing the truth, therefore, I get prosecuted for harassment, so that means now that that's a precedent been set, because I took it to a judicial review.
Okay, Mr. Glasgow, as I said...
All these criminals that's had the pictures and information about them in the papers, or Crime Stoppers or Crime Watch or all like that, now they can take out harassment cases against all these organisations, because that precedent's already been set.
Mr. Glasgow, as I said, there is nothing else the CPS can do for you. As you've already had a complaint which has been fully answered at all levels.
No, it hasn't been answered. I've been given a cock and bull story. It can't go through all the system as a complaint, and then at final stage they say, oh, we'll treat it as a feedback. the thing is, I make a complaint and you give me feedback.
Right, with me, I'm not sure what our policy would have been back in 2007 when you originally made the complaint. I don't know if you left in 2011 as well. But our current policy is that any complaint received 6 months after the case was finalised cannot be classed as a complaint.
If I've been illegally prosecuted, which I have, because the person, you see, I've put all a majority of the information on the internet already. Now, I received, what do they call them now? You receive a letter saying you've got to attend court on a such and such a date.
Yeah?
Yeah. Well, it always says, I put them on the internet and it says, Martin Glasgow
Yeah.
and another
Okay.
listing, yeah, and another.
And which case was this from? Was this...
From the first one,
Okay.
Martin Glasgow and another. Now, that indicates to me that the court, Derby Crown Court, knew all along that this person, standing as the co-defendant, wasn't the person everybody was claiming to be. They knew him for who he were. I'll tell you who it were. You'll obviously know anyway. It's I do believe the interchange is there's, I think, the triplets basically. There's a Ravinder Joal,
Okay.
a Harjinder Joal, and it's the female one goes by the name of Suki Joal.
Okay.
Now, there was a case about one of these Joals taking a case against the CPS. I think that was Ravinder Joal.
Okay, it's not something I know anything about.
In Leicester, I think it was. He claimed that the CPS was sending racist emails. It's on the internet anyway, in BBC and such as that. Now I believe that these, from what my experiences are, these interchanged names, these Joals. So people though, oh it weren't him, it were him, but it's a different name. That's what they've been doing, isn't it?
Not something I know anything about.
And not only that, they have cases at Derby Crown Court. Yeah, there's a Joal that takes civil cases to Derby Crown Court. Now this Joal, this pretending to be Amandip Singh Joal, is claiming to be a solicitor, a mediation solicitor, personal injuries and clinical negligence solicitor, but they don't know of him in Chesterfield Royal Hospital. Not only that, in his records of taped interviews, he's saying he's got all these photographs and he can't produce them in court. And not only that, he's got a 4-inch permanent 4-inch scar that he's been told is permanent. So since when would a solicitor, a personal injury solicitor, let alone a clinical negligence solicitor, have to be told a scar is permanent? Which disappears in the photograph I've got him when he's appearing on breakfast television, talking about somebody called King, who's in the studio, Sophie King I think her name is, that's in the studio, that's broke her ankle on these shoes. It's that same person that assaulted me in Chesterfield Royal Hospital and is pretending to be a different person there. Aman Joal, he pretends to be Aman Joal, Amandip Singh Joal, Aman Singh, Amandip Singh Joal, and his real name is Ravinder Singh Joal. And you're telling me you can't do nothing about it? All that criminal evidence? It's on the website, what I've put up anyway. It's called www.N for Norman, F for Freddy, F for Freddy, and P for Peter.co.uk. And I've got loads more with what I'm putting up. The quicker it gets sorted out, the less information will be going up.
But like I said, there isn't anything the CPS can do further in
Well, you're incriminated in it then, aren't you? Because, let's face it, it's the CPS that prosecute, not the police.
The police have to submit a file to us first.
That's right, and it doesn't say. When I go to Chesterfield Magistrates Court, when I've been with a friend of mine, he's actually took photos. On every listing for that court, over every court, outside every court, it says, the Chief Constable v such and such, Chief Constable v such and such. It's not the Chief Constable or the police that take you to court, it's the Crown. That's the reason why you exist, because the police in, I believe, 1986 was replaced because they was setting people up. They called them kangaroo courts, and they got rid of police courts and set the Crown Prosecution Service up. And it looks like the Crown Prosecution Service are exactly the same. In fact, even worse, because that's another avenue you've got to try and get down before you get justice. So, anyway, I've had enough of this conversation now. Thank you very much for your help and your interest.
Okay then.
Okay, thank you, bye-bye.
Bye.